What's good, guys? So today we have a tier list video. We're going to be ranking every character in Wuthering Waves based on how good, how bad, or how mid they are. Now, I do want to say before we get deeper into the video, this is my personal opinion. I could be wrong as hell, and if I are, cook me in the comments. Let me know. My opinion sucks. 7 out of 10, all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, it's based around how I see these characters, how much I use them, and where I see them in the current meta, right? So if I think a character is mid, but in reality it's your main and you think it's the greatest of all time, just call me a piece of shit for putting it in mid and like the video. All right, with that being said, we got the chat, and we're going to be yapping a little bit. Yo, what up, Jet? Homie straight up came into the stream with a $50 dono and said DBC is the best, hands down. Eat my ass. That's wild. Appreciate you, Jet. Much love. Let's continue on to the tier list. So first off, we have Rover. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Rover is great. Rover's a pretty good unit. You can slot him in a whole bunch of teams. Overall, a pretty strong character. And even though it's not the very best at anything, it does allow for a lot of usability. If you need a strong DPS, you can go ahead and use Havoc Rover. If you need something for your Arrow Erosion team, even though he himself doesn't apply Arrow Erosion, you can still slot him in there. And if you need something for your Spectral Frazzle team, he works pretty well with Spectral Frazzle characters. So be it Havoc, Spectral, or Arrow, I'm going to put Rover in peak unit, in great units. He is great because you could slot him everywhere, but he's not the very best at anything. He's just good. So I'm gonna put both Rovers in there. Okay, I'm gonna put both Rovers in there. We have Shishia. They all right. Like Shishia's good. You could do a lot of shit with Shishia. I've seen people clearing solo holograms with Shishia, but in all reality, we're not gonna say they're like great. They're not. You could say Shishia is mid. How about this? We'll leave some wiggle room. Shishia is mid. I've seen some people build around Shishia, and she does do some work, okay? Yang Yang. She's all right. Yang Yang is all right. She's very specific for very specific things. She is pretty good in Whimpering Waste. So I will say she is pretty good in Whimpering Waste. We might move these towards the end of the video, so don't even worry, guys. We might end up moving Shishia down, Shishia up. You know, same with all these characters, right? Bro, I don't know if I want to, for example, I don't know if I want to leave Shishia in mid or leave it in like all right. I'll leave her in all right, bro. I'm going to be honest. I think there's going to be other units out here. We have Baija. Baija. Bro, Baija is like, why build Baija if you have Shorekeeper? Why build Baija if you have Arena? There is really not a lot of scenarios where you're going to build Baija unless you really like the unit. So I'm going to put her in like all right. Right? Then we have Sanhua. Let's be honest, she's a great unit. There might be other units that are better, but Sanhua has been carrying accounts, right? Sanhua has been on many different teams for a very long time, so she's just a good unit. Let's just keep it at that. Simple. We have, what's the name of this old guy? Yuan Wu. No, thank you. Yuan Wu is boring. At the end of the day, he's boring. He's just not that good. You could run him with Jin Shi. That's about it. But in all reality, nobody's really building Yuan Wu. That's just the reality of it. You have the heavies. You have Taochi. Apart from having an insanely heavy rack that weighs about 35 pounds each, she doesn't bring anything to the table. She's an extremely slow character. Her kit is freaking blocky and clunky, and she's just not good. So no thank you. We have Don Jin. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Don Jin is an insane unit, right? Don Jin is Don Jin. I'm going to put her at peak because she's the only unit that you really see motherfuckers out here doing some crazy shit with. Insanely strong, solo unit, and people have been rocking her since forever to do some of the craziest things in the game. Is she a character that you absolutely must build? No, this is not a must build tier list, but Don Jin is Don Jin. It's just what it is. I don't have her build, but I know what she does and what she brings to the table. Alto, they all right. Like Alto's okay. You could do content with him. You could solo just like, you know, with Shishia. But at the end of the day, you're not really building Alto unless you want to build Alto. But there's never really going to be a scenario where you're going to be like, yo, I'm going to build Alto because that arrow buff is so nice. I'm going to build Alto because he does this and that. He's just one of those units, right? Up next, we have Mortefi. Bro, let's be honest. Mortefi is a GOAT. Mortefi is just on that same boat with Sanhua, being a GOAT, okay? He does a lot of good work, right? That's pretty much all you can say about this character. From the jump, he was the best partner for Gion, and he just offers a lot just like Sanhua, right? Now, here's what I gotta say about standard banner characters, because we're about to jump on all the standard banner 5-star characters. I'm gonna rate the standard banner characters, and I'm gonna give them a little bit of wiggle room because they're standard banner characters. So I don't feel right to drop like a top DPS unit in peak, right? Like let's say Cardathea at peak, and then compare Cardathea's damage to like Kalcharo, and then put Kalcharo at like the bottom, because his damage would be like trash compared to Cardathea. So all the standard banner units are gonna get some wiggle room because they're standard banner units, okay? Just throwing that out there. First off, we have Encore. I think Encore is the best damage dealer, or one of the best, probably up there with Kalcharo, but I think she outdoes him in damage a little bit. And I think she's just pretty good. She's relatively easy to run. You could build her in many different ways, and you could pair her up with many different units that are easy to get at the start of the game, and she's going to deal good damage. She's a character that will be good to deal damage, simple to use, and overall pretty useful. I remember when I first started playing, I casually got her, and her and Kalcharo were, you know, carrying me on all sorts of content. Verena, peak unit. Let's be real. Verena is one of the best characters in the game, right? Even to this day. Standard banner. If you have her build, you're good to go. She's going to be your support, healer, buffer, all that good stuff. Definitely worth building. Even if you have Shorekeeper, Verena's still very much worth building, because there are game modes that, as we know, we need 2, maybe even 3 teams. So Verena, peak unit that you should definitely build no matter what. Ling Yang. They all right, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Ling Yang is okay, bro. Like, you could do work with Ling Yang, but something about his kit is just weird. His gameplay is all right, is not bad. But the reality about Ling Yang is that he is a main DPS. And when you compare him and his gameplay and what he brings to the table to a character like Encore or a character like Kalcharo, I personally feel that Ling Yang kind of just falls behind a little bit, okay? I do think that he feels a little bit boring and a little bit lackluster in comparison to like Encore and maybe Kalcharo, but hey, if we have some Ling Yang lovers in the chat or in the comments, you guys could tell me maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he does deal more damage than Kalcharo and Encore, but he just doesn't feel like he does. Up next, we have Zhang Xing, aka the Bricklayer, aka clunky gameplay, aka she's slow as fuck. And I gotta be honest, she's cool. She was the only waifu out of the standard banner characters, and I don't like her at all. I feel like her gameplay is suited for a very specific random group of people out there in the world, but I don't like her. I don't think she's that good. I guess you could build her for a support healer, I guess shielder, buffer, you know, if you don't have Arena. But in all honesty, like, I don't like her. I don't want to put her in the no thank you, because I guess she could still see some use, but I, like, part of me does want to put her in the no thank you. I just don't like her, bro. I feel that there is not a situation where if you have a team, you build her and she feels good to play. You're doing a smooth rotation and you get to her and it's like it stops your momentum to do that clunky ass rotation. That's just my take. Paul Charo goes on mid as well, because Kalcharo, once again, he carried us at the beginning. He has aura, and he's good. He's a good damage dealer without taking into consideration his fucking animation cancel to deal even more damage. Kalcharo is just a great character, looks good, makes the game enjoyable, and he does deal damage that will allow you to clear content. Matter of fact, back in 1.0 and up to 1.1, 1.2, I forget when Mount Firmament dropped, I cleared every single hologram, every single game mode, all the towers, everything there was in the game with Kalcharo, apart from Tempest Mephis, and I cleared that with Encore. So Kalcharo, clearing all content when the game first released, no problem whatsoever, okay? Now, here's where we get a little bit, you know, diverse, because I know a lot of people are going to have mixed feelings regarding some of these characters, bro. And I'm going to tell you why my ratings are going to be exactly what they're going to be, right? If I say anything, you know, call me out. Jian, the first ever limited banner character. Jian still holds great to this day. He's still a great character. You can still clear all of Tower. You can still clear all the holograms. You can still clear Whimpering Waste. He's a character that, despite being a year old, he's still one of the best units in the game. But I'm going to hold him back from being a peak unit, and I'm going to tell you why. When I compare him to the other Arrow character, right, Cardathea, it's hard to put them both at peak when Cardathea is such a fucking broken character. That's not to say that Jian ain't absolutely crazy. Jian is an absolutely insane unit. He stood the test of time perfectly, and he's still probably one of the best AoE characters. He parry. You could have your eyes closed and just spam attack, and this dude will parry everything. He won't even try. He'll just naturally parry everything. For ease of play, I will say he's pretty damn good, but I won't put him at peak. I'm going to put him at great. I might even lower him down to mid as we go through, but for now, I'll put him at great, right? He might not be the best character, but he's still pretty damn strong. Yin Lin, oh my goodness. Yin Lin is the first ever limited banner waifu. And I'm going to be honest, she was great. I loved Yin Lin. She's beautiful as a character, but we were just discussing this on my stream the other day, and I gotta say, guys, I think Yin Lin is the character that's fallen off the most out of all the limited banner characters. It feels like all the partners for her have better options, and you could run her with Yao, but then you could also run her with, like, other units, and she just doesn't have a spot that I feel she's the best at. Yao is great with Shangli, and you could also run him with Yin Lin, and he's going to be good, but Yin Lin is definitely the character that's fallen off the most. For sure, out of all the limited banner characters. That's just my take. So I'm going to put her... See, here's the problem. If I put Calcharo and Encore at mid, I feel bad putting her anywhere below them. Because I do think that in a certain way, Yin Lin might be a little bit better than Encore and Calcharo. So I'm going to put her at mid. Even though... Or I might just lower these two to They All Right. Lower Ling Yang to no thank you, and then leave her in They All Right. What do you guys think? Yin Lin below? See, here's the problem, bro. But putting Yin Lin under I mean, to be fair, Calcharo and Encore can carry. Yin Lin probably has less value than them. I don't know. We'll see. So far, the list is looking like this. We might change these a little bit later, okay? Because I know some people, why is Encore above Yin Lin? Hell no. You know what I mean? So I think she's fine here for now, okay? Then we have Jin Shi, and I gotta be honest. Oh, yeah. If we count Yin Lin's weapon, she gotta go in, like, great. Because her weapon's a whole nother topic. Her weapon's probably one of the best weapons in the game. We move on over to Jin Shi. And I gotta be honest, Jin Shi, our first Sentinel Resonator, the first character to drop numbers on screen that made people say, what the hell is even that? The first character that easily gave us million nukes was Jin Shi. And to this day, she stands the test of time. She's still destroying holograms. She's still destroying towers. She's not as good in Whimpering Waste because of the way Whimpering Waste works and the way her kit works. But she's still pretty good. And overall, she still does exactly what she was meant to do, just as good as she did a year ago. She's still a beast. Probably the strongest, like, nuking character out there if we consider all the other options. So I am going to put her at peak. There's just no other character that deals in nukes like she does. That's just the reality of it. She's still really, really good, and she does her job perfectly. Shang Li, bro. Shang Li. Oh my god, bro. Shang Li. I love Shang Li. She was the character that made me replace Yin Lin, and Yin Lin was the character that I fell in love with Wuwa for. I thought she was great. Red-headed elf, amazing. But Shang Li was just amazing looking. I seen Shang Li's gameplay, and oh my god, bro. She was great. Everything about Shang Li spoke volumes to me. I played her story. She was good. But the sad reality about Shang Li is that she is the weak link out of the Fusion team. The premium Fusion team involving her, Brand, and Lupa, she is the one character, despite being the main DPS out of that team, that you could replace and you wouldn't even feel it. It's just the reality of it. I love Shang Li. I S6'd her after knowing that she's not the best out of that team, right? But the reality of it is she is not on Gion levels. And seeing this, bro, I do think this goes here. I do think this goes like this, bro. Shang Li is mid. It's just the reality of it. I know some of y'all might hate me for it, but when I've played my Fusion team comps, she is the one character that I'm like, God damn, bro. She's the only Fusion character, premium Fusion character, that has the main damage dealer role, and she has her sub DPS and healer dealing more damage than her. She's a great unit. Design-wise, peak. She's great in Whimpering Waste, peak. But in all reality, she's not the type of character that is just absolutely insane. If you're looking for a main DPS, there are, just on this board, there's already better options, right? You can go Jin Shi, you can go Gion, and it's going to get even better. If you're looking for like a sub DPS, she is great. She is great as a sub DPS. She pairs well with a lot of different characters. But overall, she's just kind of mid. She's good, but she's not like that, you know? It's just the reality of it. We have the NPC, Zhang Liao. Straight up NPC. He's a great unit. Zhang Liao does work. I'm going to be honest. Zhang Liao has a good kit. He's strong. He has a lot of things that function very well. He's good for holograms. He's good for tower. I think he's pretty good in Whimpering Waste as well. He's good for a quick swap character, so oftentimes you can slot this NPC into a lot of different teams because he's so quick swappable. So I think Zhang Liao is pretty good, okay? I think he's pretty good. Then we have GACHA. GACHA is good. She's good with coordinated. I do think in terms of coordinated, she's pretty good, but my problem is that I have a hard time giving love to coordinated attackers, or at least coordinated support characters. Coordinated like DPS units might be a little bit different, but coordinated supports are like a little bit But I will say when it comes to it, like her, she's a great unit. She's the best support for the Glacio team. She goes great with Carlotta, and she's relatively very quick to get on and off the field. Okay? So I'ma just put it there, okay? I will rate her below, like, if I don't have the tier list in order, but I would put it something like this. What the fuck? I would put it something like this, right? Like, some changes might still happen as we go, right? Cool. There we go. So yeah, overall, that's what I think so far. And I do think she goes up here in great units because she works pretty damn good. And yes, she is best partners to Jin Shi as well. She works very well with Jin Shi as does Cantarella. But I do think she's a great unit. She might get replaced in the future, but she's overall very good. Yohu. I don't know what the fuck. Yohu, like, I don't know. She's a 40-year-old toddler, bro. Her voice reminds me of a smoker, bro. And honestly, I don't know what... Apart from Rexland... And like one dude in my Discord, I don't know nobody that cares about this freaking 40-year-old toddler, bro. Camelia's great. I like Camellia. She does a lot of damage, but something about her freaking kit makes me feel like I'm just opening myself up to get attacked, bro. Like, yo, just do damage to me. I don't know what it is about Camelia's kit. I always end up getting slapped by the bosses while I'm doing her freaking rotations. I don't know what it is, bro. She does a lot of damage. Her gameplay is relatively easy. Still a nuker. She's great for bosses. She's great for holograms. She's great for Whimpering Waste. Would I put her at peak? No, I'd put her at great units. I'll definitely put her at great because she's just super good. But something about the way she plays is it feels like it leaves me vulnerable for damage, okay? Up next, Shorekeeper. Do we need to... I'll go in. I'll entertain everybody. The best character in all of Wuthering Waves in terms of value. Simply the best. The best support unit in the game. The only character in the game that is going to buff your crit rate and crit damage. She gives pretty good heals. Her buff durations is pretty damn good. She has another really good constellation. If you end up getting, I believe it's 2 dupes of her, she also buffs your attack. So with a little bit of investment, she's over here buffing your crit rate, crit damage, and attack, which is absolutely insane. She fits on absolutely every single team comp in the game. So that's probably the highest priority character for most people. Do you have to get her? No. Will she make your life easier? Absolutely. Hands down, one of the best characters, if not the best, most valuable character in the game. And there's a reason Kuro hasn't dropped another character like her. We've gotten a lot of DPSs, we've gotten a lot of supports, but we haven't gotten any other shorekeepers. And that's because she's absolutely cracked. Up next, we have the Rat. For all you rat fuckers out there, we have Lumi. And I don't know. Lumi is like, no thank you. Like, I don't really see a reason to build Lumi. And yes, I understand some people might look at me and be like, yo, but Lumi is very specific. You could run her in this team. Oh, what about Yohu? I could run her in this team. Yeah, but there are so many other options that you'd build over these characters. Why build them, right? Unless you have fun. It's always fun to build any of these characters. If you want to build like Taochi or Lumi, whatever, cool. But we're talking about like in terms of like how much should you build these characters, right? Rosha. Okay, Rosha is a character that is pretty good overworld farming. She's pretty damn good for echo grinding. She's good in tower. She's good, very, very good in whimpering waste. And she's good in holograms. But she's a character that has like a, per se, a limited use. The way I like to see it with Rosha is the fact that you use her for AoE. Like, that's it. She's probably going to be doing some good single target damage, but her role is very locked into that department, and she's one of the best at it. Once again, one of the best whimpering waste characters, one of the best, like, open world exploration and, like, farming characters in the game. She's a great unit. I will say Rosha is a great unit. Her design, you know, she's a kid, so I would put her down here, but the reality of it, she is a great unit. Rosha is a great unit. Let's be real. She's actually pretty damn good. Carlotta. Carlotta is tied for me as one of the best, most valuable DPS characters in the game, because when you're just getting into Wuthering Waves, Carlotta will make the game easier for you. She's a great damage dealer. She has ranged attacks. She literally freezes the enemy in place. So if you're having a hard time, she'll help you cheese some bosses, some holograms, some tower stages, whatever it may be. So she's very, very good, still super strong, very, very high value in my opinion. So I will put her in peak. She'll be right up here with Jinshi. Matter of fact, I'll put her over Jinshi because Jinshi takes a very specific team. You want to make sure she builds her stacks really fast to deal the damage with her nuke. Whereas Carlotta is just right off the bat. You drop her in, she's dealing damage, she's has good usability and everything. So Carlotta would probably be above Jinshi, right? That's just my take personally, okay? When it comes to Peebs, Peebs is a very interesting character. She also slows down your enemy. She has pretty big AoE damage. She is amazing as a main DPS, and she's amazing as a sub DPS. If you get her because you want to have her as your main DPS, she's gonna deal good damage. You rock her with your nice little Spectral Rover, she's gonna deal good damage. I'm gonna tell you guys straight up, she hits hard, bro. And she's good at single target, and she's good at AoE. A lot of people say that she's not that good at whimpering waste, but I think she's alright. She's decently good at whimpering waste, not the best by any means. She's great at holograms, and she's very good at tower. And if you're rocking her as a sub DPS for a character like Zani, she's also super good. So overall, I'm gonna put Peebs in peak units, because I do think Peebs is better than Camellia, I do think Peebs is better than Gion, and I do think Peebs is better than Zhang Liao. Worst case scenario should be the best out of the great units, but I do think she is a peak unit, 100%. She is super, super good, bro. She's very good. I don't know where I'll put her up here. I'll just leave her like here for now. We have Brent, and I don't know if you know who I am, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this video, but I'm probably the biggest Brent glazer on YouTube, and even though I'm not proud, because I do not like male characters in my gacha games, the reality of it is that Brent forced me to become a fan, because he's just one of the best characters in the game. He does everything. Bro, y'all ever heard jack of all trades, master of none. For some reason, Brant feels like a jack of all trade, master of all. He's one of the best supports, shielders, and buffers in the game. Oh, and he heals too. But if you build him as a DPS and build around him for him to be your main DPS, even though he's a healer and a shielder, this dude will still deal DPS comparable to some of the top DPS characters in the game. So I'm going to put him at peak units, bro. I'm going to put him right there because he's just that great. You hop into the game, you pull Brant will carry your account. Brant and Shorekeeper will easily carry your account through every content. Brant is insane in Weewa. Brant is insane in Tower. Brant is insane in holograms at S0R1, bro. I have videos on my channel clearing holograms and Tower with S0R1 Brant. It's actually insane. It's actually insane. And this is coming from someone that used to be a Brant hater, bro. Low key. Cantarella. I hate her basic gameplay, and her jellyfish form is not my favorite either. But Cantarella is a great unit. Cantarella is definitely up here with GACHA. Very good coordinated attacker. She heals, she buffs. Pretty damn good character for multiple units like Jinshi and Camellia. Furlova, I mean. So she works pretty damn good. I do think she's a great character. Not for everybody. Her gameplay goes from being very stiff and stale to very freaking wiggly all over the place. But she does offer a lot. Healing, buffing, coordinated attack. So she is a pretty good character. I'm going to just be real. She's a good character. The first controversial pick. Zani. I love Zani. One of my favorite characters in the game, looks-wise. I don't like her office outfit, but I do like, you know, the horns, the hairs, the tail. She caked up too. But Zani is a very interesting character for me. If we're talking about Zani in her premium team with Phoebe, she's a great unit. I'm not going to put her at peak. She's a great unit. I'd even put her like up here. Like up here, right? I'd even put her up there. If we're talking about her with Peeb, right? If we're talking about Zani without Peeb, I'd have to put her like up here. Maybe even lower. I'm not even gonna lie. But it's hard to put it lower because I have like Encore and Kalcharo, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna rank her without Peeb, bro. The reason for Zani not being as good is because half of her gameplay feels like shit for a lot of people. Some people might love it. You personally watching the video might love her shield gameplay. But if you compare her shield gameplay to her Super Saiyan gameplay, it's kind of shit, right? If you're playing Zani without anybody applying Spectral Frazzle, you're cucking yourself on a lot of damage. So I'ma just be real, bro. I have S6 R5 Zani. I have the premium Zani team. You take off Zani, it feels like shit. It doesn't matter if you can run her with Spectral Rover and Spectral Rover is doing Spectral Rover things and you're still clearing content. A lot of times it's how it feels to clear that content. And Zani without Peebs, I think she's mid. I don't think you should want to pull Zani without Peeb, or, you know, you could pull Zani but eventually get Peeb. That's just probably in terms of synergy and a unit wanting another unit to play better. Zani is definitely up there. I love Zani. Y'all know Zani and Shangli are my waifus, but that's just where they gotta go. Cardathea. Oh my god. Cardathea is a very strong character at S0R1, and she's probably one of the most busted characters once you start getting dupes for her. Like, her power ramp up when you get dupes on this character is just absolutely insane. I have a lot of these characters with tons of dupes. I have max duped several of these characters. Cardathea was the first character that I never got to finish a rotation before the boss was dead. Every other character allows me to do their rotation and their big hitting move. Cardathea duped up does not allow me to do a rotation. Most bosses are dead before I even get to deal her biggest damage hitting move. So they're dead before I drop her nuke. Think about that. She is actually absolutely insane. She's great for tower. She's great for whimpering waves. She's great for holograms. Overall, she's really good. She's a really, really strong character. I'll put her up here. There we go. I'd put her up there. She's actually freaking insane. Then we have Siakona. Diacona's a good character. She's quick. You could swap her in and out quick. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't see her value as high as other supports like, you know, GACHA, Roshia, or Cantarella. I see her being very strict to Arrow Erosion teams. So while right now there are not that many, or there isn't any Erosion characters apart from Cardathea, I feel that she, like, you could probably sit here and tell me, well, I run her with this team, but that's just probably because you want to. In all reality, she's not a bad unit. Her kit is not bad. Her kit is good, but simply because there are more characters that could be put in other locations, I don't think she's peak. And I want to put her at great because she does have a good kit, but currently, she really only has strict value with Cardathea. So I want to put her at mid, even though I don't think she's mid, right? So like, I don't know. I think she's kind of just in here for Cardathea, so I'm gonna put her here. I'm gonna put her at mid. She's not a bad unit, and her kit is not bad. But the simple fact that at the current stage of the game, there's not that many teams where you're gonna want to run her and be like, yeah, she's fucking amazing. That's why she's gonna go at mid, right? You know what I'm saying? We got Lupa. Lupa is an amazing supporting character for the Fusion team. She's very good. She's a little underwhelming, and a lot of people thought she was underwhelming in the sense that they thought she was going to be a damage dealer, and she's not. And she is the weakest damage dealing character out of the Fusion team. But the fact that her rotation is so smooth, and the fact that she buffs so good, she's being used not only in the Fusion teams, but some people are using her on other teams. And let's just wait. There might be other characters in the future that she's going to come in there and absolutely just take the spot as the best support. So I do think Lupa is a very good unit. I would put her up here, and I'd probably put her like over here, bro. It's either low great or high mid for me with Lupa. I don't think she's peak, and like I said, she could be great or she could be high mid, right? You know what I mean? Now, Frolova is another character that's absolutely insane when it comes to dealing damage. She is actually in, bro, I've seen a Frolova with S0R1 sitting out here with like 400 freaking crit damage, like high ass crit rate. Like, her modifiers are insane. She plays really damn good, and there's a lot of characters you can run with your Frolova that work really good. And then if we consider the premium Havoc team currently for Frolova, which is Roshia and Cantarella, I would say she's one of the top DPS characters in the game. Straight up, very, very strong. So I'll definitely put her up here. I'll definitely put her up here. Now, you know, these could all change. I think these top three are definitely good here. These three could all be in any order, honestly. And then what's left are the characters that are not released. So I'd have to test them design-wise. You know, we'd put her up here. Would definitely put her up here. But we're still waiting to see what these units bring to the table. So I'm not really going to rate them nowhere because it just makes no sense. I like to get my hands dirty with testing and seeing how things go. Now, here is how it goes. There are things that can change in this tier list. In all honesty, like if I wanted to be a little bit more critical or change things a little bit more, I'd probably do this. I'd probably do something along these lines, bro, like over here, like this, right? I'd probably move Calcharo and Homegirl over here, right? I'd probably do this, right? And then I'll do this right here, right? Like, I'd leave these in mid. Like that. Low-key, she could even, bro, I love Zani, but low-key, she feels like trash without Peebs, bro. Now, I'm a little bit concerned regarding characters like, for example, Roshia. Like, these three, bro. I feel like these three characters are all really good, but they're so limiting, right? Like, they're very limiting right now. Siakona, Roshia, and Lupa are very limiting characters. You could run them in several different teams. They're good, but there are other options. So it could go either way. Either these three characters are going to be, like, high mid units, so like up here, right, like this, or they're just gonna be up here. In all honesty, as their supports, and they are best in slot for their respective teams, I'm just gonna put them like this. I think this is not bad at all, since they're all the best in slot for each of their respective teams. But yeah, that's probably the end of my tier list. I'm probably, you know, biased towards certain units, but in all honesty, after playing every character, having every character in here, and having seen not only what I do, but what a lot of other people are doing, I think this is as fair as I can say for a tier list in Wuthering Waves. There's reasonings how some characters could be like freaking up here if they have their partners, and then be down here if they don't. But in all reality, I do think this is how the tier list is gonna finish out. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Did I cook, or am I gonna get cooked? For now, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.